So, good day everyone. Today I will discuss to you the introduction to materials development. So, what is materials development? It is both a field of study and a practical undertaking. As a field, it studies the principles and procedures of the design, implementation, and evaluation of language teaching materials. As an undertaking, it involves the production, evaluation, and adaptation of language teaching materials by teachers for their own classrooms and by materials writers for sale or distribution. Ideally, these two aspects of materials development are interactive in that the theoretical studies inform and are informed by the development and use of classroom materials. So there's a growing inclusion of materials development on courses for teachers. For example, the International Graduate School of English in Seoul runs an MA in Materials Development for Language Teaching, and MA TESOL or Applied Linguistic courses throughout the world now include modules on materials development. So this is mainly because of the realization that every teacher is a materials developer. So who needs to be able to evaluate, adapt, and produce materials so as to ensure a match between their learners and the materials they use. So what is material? So materials are anything which can be used to facilitate the learning of a language, including the course books, videos, graded readers, flashcards, games, websites, and mobile phone interactions. So they can be informative, informing the learner about the target language, instructional, or guiding the learner in practicing the language, experiential, providing the learner with experience of the language in use. So, eliciting, encouraging the learner to use the language, and exploratory. So, helping the learner to make discoveries about the language. Ideally, materials should be developed for learning rather than for teaching, and they should perform all the functions specific above. So in other words, they can be anything which is deliberately used to increase the learner's knowledge and or experience of the language. Keeping this pragmatic concept of materials in mind can help materials developers to utilize as many sources of input as possible. And even more importantly, can help teachers to realize that they are also materials developers and that they are ultimately responsible for the materials that their learners use. So, what materials and tools do I need to study a language? So, number one, possibly the most useful tools there are for learning a language are writing implements such as pens, pencils, and something to write on, such as paper or a notebook. You can use them not only to make notes and list of vocabulary, phrases, etc., but also to practice writing in your second language. So the range of other materials and tools available to help you with your language studies is huge. From language courses and dictionaries to MP3 players and portable translators, all of them can help you in different ways. And your language learning goals will determine to some extent which ones are most useful to you. So these are some of the language learning materials and tools that are currently available. So language courses, dictionaries, grammars, phrase books, flashcards, audiobooks, recording devices, sound editors, and electronic translators. So we will discuss it one by one. So first is the language courses. So language courses come in a variety of cases, including traditional ones, all audio ones, CD rooms, and online ones. So most such courses are intended for complete beginners or people with only minimal knowledge of the language. Intermediate and advanced level courses are available for some of the more popular languages such as French, German, Italian, and Spanish. So the traditional courses, the traditional ones tend to consist of textbooks containing dialogues, exercises, notes on grammar, and maybe cultural information, accompanying cassettes, CDs, and or MP3s are often available. So all audio courses, this type of course usually consists of solely of cassettes or CDs, though some may also include a limited amount of printed material. All dialogues, exercises, instructions, and explanations are recorded, and the focus of these courses is teaching you to understand and speak the language. Next is the online courses. There are online language courses and lessons for just about every language you can think of. Many are free while others require a one-off payment or regular description. Next is the dictionaries. Dictionaries come in a number of formats, including bilingual, monolingual, illustrated, electronic, and online. Bilingual dictionaries are perhaps the most useful ones for beginners and intermediate learners, while monolingual dictionaries, which are designed for native speakers, are also useful for advanced learners. Next is the grammars. Grammars are useful reference tools and provide detailed information about grammar and usage. Some include exercises to help you practice the various aspects of grammar. Next is the phrase books. When visiting foreign parts, a phrase book can come in very handy. Phrase books come with recordings of phrases are particularly useful as working out how to pronounce them from the written pronunciation hints is not easy. So next is the flashcards. Flashcards are a useful tool for learning vocabulary and grammar if you look at them regularly. So they found them particularly useful when learning Chinese characters. They might have a character, word, phrase, or sentence on one side and a translation, definition, and or notes on the other side. Next is the audiobooks. Listening to audiobooks in a language you are learning is a great way to improve your listening comprehension and vocabulary. So if you can read printed versions of the books at the same time, so it's even better. Next is the recording devices. A recording device of some kind is a very useful tool to the language learner. You can use it to record conversations, radio programs, songs, classes, and lectures, such as recordings can help you to improve your listening comprehension. Next is the sound editors. Once you have made recordings, you might need to edit them. Various programs that enable you to do so are available. Next is the electronic translators. Electronic translators are available as handheld units or as a software. Handheld ones are portable, easy and quick to search, and often provide other functions such as text to speech, voice recognition, speech synthesis, organizers, and address books. So that's it. Thank you for listening.